everybody, the Music Fan is back, bringing smiles to the faces, knowledge to the people, and most importantly, music to the masses. I know it's been a while since I put out a video, but for good reason. As you guys are all probably aware of, the coronavirus has hit America pretty hard, especially in Massachusetts. So we have been under self-quarantine for a while, and I've been just trying to get on a better schedule. This hit me very hard mentally. And it was something that I've been trying to deal with for a bunch of weeks, but I'm finally getting much better. I'm finally on a better schedule, but I've also took some time to reevaluate how I run some things in my life, especially on this YouTube channel. So this is just a quick channel update on what the plan is going forward. So first thing, biggest thing, Are You Ins? No longer happening. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be reviewing stuff on this channel. In fact, I want to be doing it a little bit differently. About a month ago, before this all happened, I debuted a new segment called You Havent Heard, which was this idea of reviewing 5 different CDs in one episode and then ranking them all afterwards. The plan would be is I would only talk about a CD 2 to 3 minutes, give some pretty basic takes, what I was feeling, how I was feeling about it, the overall feel of the album, and going over some of the highlights and the head scratchers. And then from there, hopefully I would be able to get out more content and more album reviews while taking less time to edit them. I want to bring that back, but I want to do it a little bit differently. So now I am going to be debuting something that I like to call 7 to Satisfy. It's basically the same idea as If You Haven't Heard, but I would only be doing it once, maybe twice a week, depending on how my schedule is, and I would be going over 7 albums that I would like to talk about. Some older ones, some current ones from this year, and from there, same idea, 2 to 3 minutes, then ranking them all at the end. My promise to you guys is if this works, every single album that I listen to from this year, I will review. No more just doing 2 albums per week. It will be shorter ideas, not as in-depth, but being able to get my ideas on everything that I listen to. You know, if I do this 52 times in a year, we're looking at over 350 CDs that I get to talk about, which would be awesome. And then I won't be rambling so much about it. So the idea would be it's going to be like a 20 to 30 minute video max per week going over 7 albums. I'm actually really excited for the one that I'm going to be starting with first. It's kind of themed, and unfortunately it is from a little bit back. We're talking about the end of March, but I'm really excited to talk about these CDs. That will hopefully be debuting tomorrow. So I look forward to them, and I hope that you guys check this out. Number 2, I had plans on doing some top 100 lists, most notably top 100 lists of the 2010s, as well as top 100 metal albums of the 2010s with my brother. Fortunately, this is on the back burner for a while and may be indefinitely on the back burner. I'm trying to also get a podcast off the ground, and spending time on listening to new music as well as taking time for this podcast does not give me any time to re-go through the albums in the 2010s that I missed. I'm going to try to do it in a different way, and hopefully it will land on my podcast somehow, but don't expect it anytime soon. It might show up at some point if I have the time, but the odds are like maybe 1% at most. Number 3, let's talk about that podcast. So starting in May, fingers crossed, I'm going to be debuting a podcast. And the idea of this podcast is very similar to what I was doing with digging through discographies, but a little more streamlined. Instead of going over 1 album per week, I'm trying to go over 1 band per week, whether it's just by myself or with another friend of mine, another guest who's really into this band. We'll talk about the albums, we'll rank them at the end. I'm really excited to try to put this out there, The hope is the beginning of May. I'm still doing a little bit of research on some of the bands that I'm trying to get done so I can give you the complete rundown on everything. And of course, I also have to do a test run for this podcast, but keep your eyes peeled for that. Number 4, replacing some of these RU-ins sporadically. I want to get back into arranging a cappella songs for the channel. I did that a couple different times throughout the years, but unfortunately it fell by the wayside with all the album reviews and everything else that I was doing. So it's not going to be happening a lot, but keep your eyes peeled for some a cappella arrangements. I'm really excited to get back into it, show you guys what I'm doing. It's been something that I've picked back up as a hobby during this quarantine. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm hoping that you guys are staying healthy, staying well, staying happy. This is a crazy time. This is something that none of us have ever gone through in our lives. I would love to hear what albums you would like me to review during this time. I have plenty on my plate, but of course, I want to check out everything. I'm here for you guys. Thank you for supporting my channel for this long. I really appreciate it. Whether you watch one video or you watch all of them, I hugely appreciate it. And I promise you there's going to be plenty more where that came from. I'm finally back in a good place to be able to put out material. And I'm really excited for tomorrow to debut this new segment. So until then, this is a Music Fan, and I'm signing off.